Length. Kevin Durant's insane length changes everything. He's nearly 7 feet tall with a wingspan that stretches 7 feet and 5 inches, and that lets him shoot right over defenders like they're not even there. His high release point makes contests useless, and that's a big reason he's hovered around 49% from the field. On threes, it's the same thing. His length just gives him more space to fire, and when he drives, those long strides cover ground fast, and his wingspan helps protect the ball, keeping defenders away. On defense, it's even crazier. He averages over 1 block and 1 steal per game, constantly messing up passing lanes, contesting shots, and acting as a backup rim protector. He can guard all over the floor and close out quicker than most wings. Rebounding, his arms just reach higher than anyone else. That length makes opponents second-guess everything and boosts his squad's confidence every possession. Longevity. LeBron James just doesn't slow down. He started his career straight out of high school back in 2003, and over 20 years later, he's still dominating. He's played more than 1,500 regular season games and passed 57,000 minutes, which is just wild. Even at age 40, he's still averaging over 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists. That's not just staying healthy, that's staying elite. He even broke the all-time scoring record this year by hitting 40,000 career points. And he did it while still leading the charge every night. What makes it crazier is how he's evolved. Less power, more skill, smarter decisions. His three-point shots improved, and he's played every position from point guard to power forward. Off the court, he spends millions on recovery, using every tool possible to stay fresh. Most legends fade by their late 30s. LeBron, he's rewriting what aging looks like in basketball. Height. Yao Ming stood at 7 feet 6 inches, and that kind of size changes everything. He didn't just look over defenders, he shot right over them with ease. That's how he ended up with a field goal percentage over 52%. And he wasn't like most big guys at the line. He knocked down free throws at over 83%. His hook shots and fadeaways were practically unblockable. On defense, he was a straight-up wall. He averaged nearly 2 blocks a game and owned the paint with over 9 rebounds a night. His height also gave him incredible vision. He could pass right over the top of defenders and keep the offense flowing. The downside? That massive frame came with a price. All that pressure on his feet and ankles cut his career short. But when he was out there, opponents changed their entire game plan just to avoid him. His height wasn't just rare, it was game-breaking. Shooting. Steph Curry's jumper didn't just break records, it changed the game forever. He's the first player to ever hit over 4,000 threes, and he's done it with ridiculous accuracy. His career three-point percentage sits over 42%, and his free throws, a wild 91%. His shot mechanics are elite. Quick release, one motion form, balanced footwork, and perfect hand control. He doesn't need space because he creates it with rhythm and timing. In his range, it pulls defenders way out, opening up the court for everyone else. That kind of spacing gives his teammates better looks and makes defenses scramble. His impact's massive. Teams now build offenses around the three-point line, and that all started with Curry. He passed Ray Allen's record way faster and way more efficiently. Whether he's setting single-season records or dropping over 50 points in a game, his shot forces everyone to adjust. Nobody's ever weaponized shooting like Curry. By the way, if you guys want to subscribe, I'm going to start posting every day. Thanks. Anyways, athleticism. Giannis's physical tools are unreal. He's nearly 7 feet tall with a wingspan over 7 feet 4 inches, and he moves like a guard. His vertical's around 40 inches, and when you combine that with his height, he can reach nearly 12 feet in the air. That kind of reach makes him a nightmare to stop near the rim. He's explosive, fast, and strong, which is why he scores over 30 points a night while shooting above 60% from the field. His Euro step covers ridiculous ground, and he'll dunk right through contact. On defense, he guards every position and blocks over 1 shot a game. His rebounding numbers are always high because of his timing and positioning. Even in transition, he's a blur. He gets end-to-end in just a few steps, and you can't keep up. The Bucks lean on him everywhere: offense, defense, playmaking, rebounding. His athleticism just overwhelms teams. Rebounding. Dennis Rodman made rebounding into an art form. He grabbed nearly 12,000 boards over 14 seasons and led the league in rebounds per game for 7 straight years. That's not luck, that's obsession. He wasn't just reacting, he was studying. He watched opponents' shots, predicted misses, and always found the right spot. His footwork and box outs were so sharp, he outworked players way bigger than him. He jumped 2 or 3 times on a single play just to secure 1 rebound. His motor never stopped, and that wore opponents down. He even messed with players mentally, throwing them off with wild behavior and nonstop energy. He once pulled in 34 rebounds in a single game. He also ended up with more total rebounds than his combined points, assists, steals, and blocks. That's how committed he was. Whether with the Pistons or Bulls, his rebounding changed games. Rodman didn't just rebound, he dominated the glass every night. Clutch. Michael Jordan made pressure his playground. He knocked down 28 game-winning shots in his career, and 3 of those came in the playoffs. That's not just luck, it's consistency when it matters most. He shot over 45% in clutch situations during the 1997 playoffs, and even hit over 56% in the final minutes of tight games between 1989 and 1993. His mentality was cold. He embraced failure, missed shots, and bounced right back to take the next big one. Whether he was hitting game winners, stealing the ball in the closing seconds, or dropping 38 points with the flu, he owned the biggest moments. His famous jumper in Game 6 of the 1998 Finals iced his 6th title and sealed his legacy. Fans didn't just expect Jordan to deliver, they knew he would. Nobody treated pressure like a routine job the way Jordan did. Physicality. Shaquille O'Neal was built like a tank and moved like a guard. He stood over 7 feet tall, weighed over 300 pounds, and still ran the floor with speed and agility most big men could only dream of. His strength let him bully defenders in the post, finish through contact, and shoot nearly 59% from the field over his career. His footwork made drop steps and spins almost impossible to stop. On defense, his wingspan and size helped him average over 10 rebounds and more than 2 blocks per game. He crushed second chances with offensive boards and erased shots at the rim. Opponents even had to start fouling him on purpose just to slow him down. His presence was so dominant, it made players hesitate before going up inside. With 4 championships, a league MVP, and 15 All-Star selections, Shaq was a monster. Mentality. Kobe Bryant's mindset wasn't just different, it was ruthless. The Mamba mentality meant showing up earlier, working harder, and staying locked in longer than anyone else. He'd hit the gym at 4 in the morning, grind through injuries, and train under tough conditions just to simulate real pressure. That obsessive drive made him a machine for growth. He studied every detail, footwork, angles, body movement, and attacked opponents' weaknesses with surgical focus. Even with a torn Achilles, he stayed on the court to knock down free throws. That's not just toughness, it's pure will. He turned every setback into fuel and used pain as motivation. He also passed it on, mentoring younger players and encouraging others to chase greatness like he did. With 5 championships and every major award in his pocket, Kobe's legacy isn't just about points, it's about mindset. Mamba mentality became a lifestyle, one that pushed him to the top and inspired the world, far beyond basketball. Skyhook. Kareem's skyhook wasn't just iconic, it was untouchable. He stood over 7 feet tall, turned his body sideways, used his off arm for space, and released that hook shot at the absolute peak of his reach. That release point, paired with his wingspan, made it practically unblockable. He used it with either hand and hit 50% of those in the 1983 playoffs alone. It wasn't flashy, but it was surgical. The skyhook helped him rack up over 38,000 points in 20 seasons, which held the all-time record until 2023. He didn't just shoot it from one spot either, he used it from all over the floor. Few players have ever tried to replicate it, and none have matched its success. He began crafting it when he was a kid and kept sharpening it for decades. That combination of technique, touch, and reach turned the skyhook into basketball's most unguardable weapon. Winning. Bill Russell didn't just chase rings, he collected them like no one else. In just 13 seasons, he won 11 championships with the Boston Celtics. Before that, he grabbed 2 college titles and an Olympic gold medal. Everywhere he played, he won. And it wasn't about stats. He led by example. He played unselfishly, locked in on defense, and owned the glass with over 22 rebounds per game. He wasn't just a player, he coached too, becoming the league's first black head coach while still suiting up. He won 2 more titles in that role. In do-or-die games, he never lost. 11 times, he faced elimination and won every single one. Even without recorded blocks, everyone knew he changed shots just by being near the paint. The league honored him by naming the finals MVP award after him. Russell didn't dominate with flash. He dominated with focus, teamwork, and a mindset that winning was the only option. Records. Wilt Chamberlain didn't just play basketball, he rewrote its history books. He once dropped 100 points in a single game, and during the 1962 season, he averaged over 50 points per night. Nobody's touched that mark since. He scored over 31,000 points and still holds the rebound record with nearly 24,000 boards. In one game, he snatched 55 rebounds. He also played nearly every minute, averaging over 45 minutes per game across his career and over 48 in a single season. He had 968 double-doubles, 78 triple-doubles, and even led the league in assists one year. No other center has done that. He shot 54% from the field and could jump high enough to reach the top of the backboard. His mix of scoring, rebounding, passing, and sheer dominance made him a stat-breaking machine. Chamberlain didn't chase records. He built them. One-legged fadeaway. Dirk Nowitzki turned one move into a legacy. He created the one-legged fadeaway in the mid-2000s, looking for a shot that worked every time without needing full bursts of energy. That fade, launched from a 7-foot frame with one knee up and a high arc, was a nightmare to defend. He'd plant his foot, lean back, and just float it right over defenders. Even in the 2013 season, he hit over 55% of those shots, more efficient than the league average. As he aged, he leaned on it even more, and it helped him cross the 30,000-point mark. LeBron and Durant both added versions of it to their games. That's the kind of respect it earned. It wasn't just effective, it shifted how bigs play the game. The Mavericks even built a statue of Dirk mid-fadeaway, forever cementing its place in history. Handles. Kyrie's dribbling isn't just tight, it's ridiculous. He controls the ball like it's tied to his fingers, and he's just as sharp going left or right. That ambidexterity keeps defenders off balance, and he stays low to the ground so it's almost impossible to poke the ball loose. His crossover is nasty, but it's the mix of hesitations, spins, and behind-the-back moves that really break ankles. He can stop on a dime, explode the other way, and finish with touch no matter who's in front of him. His timing is flawless. Every dribble matches his footwork perfectly. Defenders never know what's coming, and by the time they react, Kyrie's already gone. He's calm even under pressure and can pull off wild sequences without losing control. Legends like Allen Iverson even called him the best ball handler ever. That's not hype, it's facts. Playmaking. Magic Johnson didn't just pass the ball, he turned it into art. He averaged over 11 assists per game for his career and racked up more than 10,000 total. In the playoffs, no one's touched his 2,346 assists. He read the court like a book and delivered passes through the smallest gaps with perfect timing. At 6'9", he saw over defenders and made angles that smaller guards couldn't dream of. He wasn't just tall, he was versatile, playing every position when needed and stacking up 138 triple-doubles in the regular season and 30 more in the playoffs. His vision powered 5 championships with the Lakers and earned him 3 MVP awards. But his biggest impact, he changed what a point guard could be. His game inspired an entire generation to value size, skill, and selflessness. Magic didn't just run the offense, he made everyone on the court better instantly. Durability. Karl Malone was built to last. Over his first 18 seasons, he missed only 10 games, playing in 1,434 out of 1,444. That's unreal reliability. He suited up for all 82 games in 11 seasons and topped 80 games in 16 of his 19 years. He had a 543 game streak that only ended because of a suspension, not injury. Later, he added another streak of 443 games without missing a beat. Even at 39, he played 81 games and still averaged 20 points, 8 rebounds, and 5 assists. He finished with 1,476 games played, third all time. His stamina let him wear out opponents deep into games, and his training was nonstop. He even scored over 2,000 points in a season 12 times. Malone wasn't just dependable, he was a machine that never stopped delivering. Isolation scoring. James Harden turned one-on-one basketball into a science. In the 2018 season, he averaged over 16 isolation possessions a game, more than double anyone else, and still scored efficiently at over 1 point per possession. That kind of volume and accuracy is rare. His signature step-back 3 gave him instant separation, and his handles plus footwork made defenders guess wrong every time. He froze opponents with hesitations, crossovers, and jabs, then either drove past or pulled up with ease. And when defenders tried to contest, he'd bait the foul and head to the line, where he's always been elite. His isolation gravity pulled help defenders in, letting him kick out to shooters and boost team offense. Late in the shot clock, he didn't need a screen. He just created space and scored. That style helped him rack up over 27,000 points and win the MVP in 2018. Harden's ISO game wasn't flashy. It was unstoppable. Trash talking. Larry Bird didn't just beat opponents. He told them exactly how he'd do it. He'd walk over to the bench, call his shot, drain it, and stare everybody down. He once told the Mavericks, "I'm gonna stand right here. I'm not gonna move," then hit the shot without flinching. He lit up the Pistons and barked at Chuck Daly, "Is anyone guarding me?" and threatened to drop 60 if they didn't try harder. He humiliated Reggie Miller during free throws, reminded him who the best shooter was, then buried both shots. He showed up to the three-point contest and asked, "Who's coming in second?" Then won it without taking off his warm-up. On Christmas, he hit a three in Chuck Person's face and said, "Merry Christmas." He used trash talk to rattle defenders, boost teammates, and dominate every mental battle. Bird didn't talk for fun. He talked because he knew he could back up every single word. Basketball IQ. Nikola Jokic doesn't just play the game, he reads it like a novel. As a center, he dishes out assists like a point guard, dropping 15 or more in games and once hitting 19, just 2 shy of Wilt's all-time record for big men. His passing angles are ridiculous. No look, over the head, bounce passes through traffic. You name it, he's got it. He controls the pace like a conductor, knowing exactly when to push or slow it down. He makes instant reads, picking apart defenses without forcing plays. On defense, he's all anticipation, sliding into the right spots before the offense even knows what's happening. He communicates constantly, keeping everyone in sync. Triple doubles are normal for him now, and his advanced stats like player efficiency rating and win shares prove just how sharp he is. Multiple MVPs, not a surprise when you think the game like he does. Jokic doesn't rely on speed or flash. His brain is the real engine behind it all. Mid-range. DeMar DeRozan doesn't need threes to torch defenders. He lives in the mid-range. In a recent season, he took 368 shots from that zone, leading the league by over 100 attempts. He's not just chucking, he's converting at close to 50%, which makes him one of the most efficient mid-range scorers out there. His footwork is elite, letting him stop, pivot, and fade with perfect balance. He creates space off the dribble and scores in isolation without relying on screens or volume from deep. While the league's obsessed with threes, DeRozan zigged when everyone else zagged, and it works. That shot selection spreads defenders thin and keeps help defenders guessing. He's averaging over 20 points a game for his career, and his field goal percentage this season is over 52. Analytics might not always love the mid-range, but DeRozan's turned it into a weapon that still wins matchups every night. Jumping ability. Vince Carter didn't just dunk, he flew. His vertical leap measured 43 inches, far above the league average, and he made every inch count. In the 2000 dunk contest, he dropped jaws with the 360 windmill and even dunked, then hung by his elbow. He got 3 perfect scores of 50 and made dunks look like performance art. That same year in the Olympics, he soared over a 7'2" center for what fans now call the dunk of death. But it wasn't just moments, it was his entire career. He threw down dunks for over 2 decades, staying explosive into his 40s. Carter didn't rely on just power. His hang time, body control, and creativity set a new standard. Young players didn't just watch him, they modeled their games after him. In 2024, he was inducted into the Hall of Fame, with Julius Erving presenting. Vince Carter didn't jump high. He redefined what flight looked like on a basketball court. Post moves. Hakeem's dream shake wasn't just a move, it was poetry in the post. He'd catch the ball, plant both feet, then pivot with balance and fluidity, throwing shoulder fakes and pump fakes that sent defenders flying. Nobody knew where he was going until the ball was already through the net. His footwork, sharpened from years of playing soccer, made him impossibly quick for a center. He stayed balanced through every fake, keeping full control while defenders lost theirs. The dream shake worked on everyone, even the best big men of his era. After retiring, he passed on his craft to stars like Kobe and LeBron. He scored over 26,000 points, blocked more shots than anyone in history, and added 2 titles, 2 finals MVPs, and a regular season MVP to his name. His post-game became the gold standard. Hakeem didn't just play with skill, he turned the low block into a masterclass every night. Defense. Ben Wallace didn't need buckets to dominate. He locked everything down. He won 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards, tying for the most ever, and made 6 all-defensive teams. In the 2002 season, he averaged over 3 blocks a game and led the league. Across his career, he swatted over 2,000 shots and pulled down more than 10,000 rebounds. He once grabbed over 15 boards a night for an entire season. He posted a defensive rating of 87 in 2004, the best ever at that point. And he did all this standing 6'9", guarding 7-footers like it was nothing. His strength, timing, and positioning made up for size. Wallace anchored a Pistons team that won a title and gave up just 84 points per game. He set the tone every night, leading with effort and grit. He entered the Hall of Fame in 2021 because defense was never just a role. It was his identity, explosiveness. Russell Westbrook doesn't just move fast, he attacked like a rocket. He hit a top speed of over 21 miles per hour and accelerated like a sprinter, hitting 27 feet per second square. That burst made him a nightmare in transition, pushing the pace and breaking down defenses before they could even set. He's not just fast, he files. With a vertical leap of 36 inches, he threw down monster dunks and skied for rebounds over bigs. His energy never dipped. He kept sprinting, defending, rebounding, and finishing at full speed all game. That endurance let him play major minutes for years without fading. His training focused on power and speed, building the strength to finish through contact while staying quick. Even as his role evolved, his explosiveness stayed central. Whether creating plays or locking in on Westbrook's athleticism doesn't just set him apart, it overwhelmed teams and turned effort into impact every night. Vision. Steve Nash saw plays before they happened. He racked up over 10,000 assists in 18 seasons and led the league 5 times, dishing out double-digit averages while making it look effortless. He once dropped 22 assists in a single game without breaking a sweat. But Nash didn't just pass. He shot lights out, joining the 50-40-90 club more than once. That made defenses respect every option, and he exploited every gap. His reads were surgical, delivering bounce passes, no looks, and alley-oops right on time. He turned good teammates into great scorers by putting the ball exactly where it needed to be. With the Suns, his vision drove one of the fastest and most efficient offenses in the league. He won back-to-back MVPs because of how he orchestrated everything without ever forcing it. When Nash ran the floor, the whole team clicked. Rim protection. Dikembe made the paint his personal no-fly zone. He blocked over 3,200 shots in his career, second only to Hakeem, and averaged nearly 3 per game across 18 seasons. In one season, he sent back 4.5 shots a night. Pure dominance. He won 4 Defensive Player of the Year awards and made 6 all-defensive teams. Mutombo wasn't just swatting shots, he intimidated entire offenses. Players avoided the rim altogether when he was near it, and when he did block them, he gave them the iconic finger wag, no, 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 that became a signature celebration. He grabbed over 12,000 rebounds and led the league in boards twice. In the '94 playoffs, he averaged over 6 blocks per game in a series upset win. Even in his final years, he anchored benches with elite shot blocking. Leadership. Tim Duncan never needed to shout. He led by example every night. He worked relentlessly, stuck to the fundamentals, and did the little things that lifted everyone around him. He wasn't chasing spotlight. He was chasing wins. Even as a superstar, he deferred when needed, always putting the team first. That humility created a culture in San Antonio where accountability thrived. Teammates followed his lead because he never asked for more than he gave. His consistency anchored nearly 2 decades of success, and coaches trusted him in every situation. As he got older, he adapted his game, sacrificing numbers to help the team stay elite. He mentored younger players, passing on values that shaped future leaders. His guidance didn't just build a dynasty, it built a family. Duncan won 5 titles, played 19 seasons, and entered the Hall of Fame, not just for his talent, but for showing how quiet leadership can echo louder than words ever could. Speed. Fox doesn't just run, he blazes by everyone on the court. His end-to-end speed is unreal, and when he gets going in transition, defenders have no chance of catching up. With the ball in his hands, he's still flying. NBA ratings even gave him a 97 speed with ball. That's how dangerous he is on the break. He pushes tempo, turns defense into instant offense, and creates chaos for opposing teams. On the defensive end, his quickness helps him jump passing lanes and apply pressure without foul. He's averaged over 21 points and 6 assists for his career. And this season, he's putting up over 23 while still crashing the glass and sharing the rock. Now with the Spurs, he's starting to build chemistry with Wemby, and that speed is translating to big wins. Fox's speed isn't just fast, it's disruptive and game-changing. Creativity. Jason Williams, better known as White Chocolate, made passing look like magic. His game was a non-stop highlight reel, filled with behind-the-back dimes, no-look lasers, and that iconic elbow pass that broke the internet before social media even took off. Defenders never knew what was coming, and teammates always had to stay ready. His flashy ball handling and unpredictable vision turned routine plays into art. With the Kings, he turned pace and flair into a full-blown offensive identity. But it wasn't just show. He won a championship with the Heat, proving flair and fundamentals can go hand in hand. He brought street ball creativity into the league and made it work at the highest level. His game changed how fans saw point guards, how young players trained, and how fun basketball could truly be. Hustle. Scottie Pippen's motor never stopped running. Whether it was locking up the opposing team's best player, diving out of bounds to save a possession, or flying down the floor on a fast break, Pippen was all over the court, all the time. His defensive intensity was unreal. He averaged 2 steals per game for his career and guarded every position like it was personal. And on top of that, he rebounded, pushed the pace, and made the extra plays that don't show up on stat sheets. He had heart, grit, and that fire that pushed the Bulls to greatness. His chase down blocks, full court presses, and loose ball scrambles defined what effort looked like at the highest level. Pippen didn't just play hard, he lived in that gear. He was the Bulls' engine. Crossover. Allen Iverson's superpower wasn't just flashy, it was lethal. His crossover punished defenders with speed, sharp misdirection, and insane timing. He didn't just use it to break ankles, he used it to win space, freeze opponents, and dictate tempo. Iverson always started with perfect distance, baiting defenders just enough to make them react. Then he'd explode, dropping into a low stance while flipping the pace completely. His body fake sold the opposite direction so well, defenders never stood a chance. The way he'd shift his shoulders and take a jab step made guys bite every single time. That crossover wasn't just a move, it was a psychological trap. Even elite defenders like Michael Jordan got caught slipping. And once Iverson saw that opening, he took it fast. His crossover changed the game forever and influenced generations. Kids practiced it on playgrounds, pros studied it in film. It became a symbol of creativity, control, and fearless offense. Steals. John Stockton could read the court like a book. He didn't rely on speed or flash, he relied on anticipation, timing, and pure discipline. Stockton always positioned himself perfectly, cutting off passing lanes before the ball even moved. He wasn't gambling, he was calculating. His footwork and body control let him slide into the right spot without overcommitting. Once that ball was loose, it was his. He didn't swipe wildly either. He poked, stripped, and intercepted with precision. It was like he had magnets in his hands. Every steal was clean, smart, and instantly turned into offense. What made it even scarier was his consistency. He didn't need highlight plays because he did it every single game. Over time, the numbers piled up, and nobody's come close to breaking his record. Stockton didn't just take the ball, he took control of the game. His steals weren't about stats. They were about stopping momentum before it even started. Minutes. Oscar Robertson stayed on the court longer than anybody else. He didn't just play hard, he played forever. Game after game, season after season, he racked up minutes like nobody else. For over 1,000 regular season games, he averaged more than 42 minutes a night. That's nearly an entire game every night for 14 seasons. And he never let up. In 7 different years, he averaged over 43 minutes per game. His highest was during the 1964-65 season, when he led the entire league with over 45 minutes per game. That kind of workload would break most players, but not Robertson. His body held up, his performance stayed elite, and his presence never faded. While playing for the Cincinnati Royals, he even set their all-time record with over 33,000 total minutes. Oscar didn't need rest. He was the reason other teams needed timeouts. Hot streaks. Klay Thompson's superpower is flipping a game in minutes. He doesn't need the ball long, he just needs the ball once. Klay's scoring explosions are some of the wildest things I've ever seen. He dropped 37 points in 1 quarter without missing a single shot. That wasn't just heat, that was historic. Then he casually scored 60 in under 30 minutes, barely even dribbling. It looked unreal. His off-ball movement makes defenders dizzy, and once he sets his feet, it's over. 14 made threes in 1 game, he's done that too. He even drilled 10 straight without missing against Los Angeles, finishing with 44. But his timing is what makes it scarier. When it's crunch time, it's Game 6 Klay time. He saved seasons with those kinds of performances. His shot forces defenses to stretch out, giving everyone else room to work. Klay's hot streaks don't just light up the scoreboard, they flip the entire energy of a game. Slashing. D-Wade could slice through defenses like a blade. He didn't dance around the perimeter, he attacked straight down the lane. His first step was lightning. 1 jab and defenders were stuck watching his back. Wade's agility let him slip through tight gaps and make crowded paint look empty. Once he got inside, it didn't matter who was waiting. He finished through contact out like it was nothing. Floaters, reverses, and mid-air adjustments all looked effortless. And he lived at the free throw line because guys had no choice but to foul him. During the 2004 to 2005 and 2006 to 2007 seasons, he led the league in free throws per 48 minutes. His Eurostep was brutal, quick, sharp, and impossible to time. Add in a solid mid-range jumper and post-game, it forced defenses to guess every time. Catch and shoot. Ray Allen didn't need space. He just needed a second. His shooting form was picture perfect every single time. Same feet, same follow-through, same deadly result. And that release? it was lightning fast. Before defenders even realized the ball left the pass, it was already falling through the net. Ray wasn't standing still either. He never stopped moving. He used screens, sharp cuts, and perfect footwork to get free. His motion off the ball was just as dangerous as his shot, and when it came down to clutch moments, nobody was calmer. That game-tying shot in 2013, cold-blooded. He trained like a machine too. Hours of reps, every day, locked in on the same technique. That dedication made him one of the most consistent shooters ever. Before Steph Curry came around, nobody had more threes. Ray didn't just shoot, he created a blueprint for every catch-and-shoot player chasing greatness today. Motor. Josh Hart never turns it off. He plays with constant energy that makes everyone else look like they're moving in slow motion. Every play, every possession, he's giving everything. He defends like his job depends on it, crashes the boards like a center, and sprints coast to coast without slowing down. Even though he's a guard, he rebounds like he's 7 feet tall. He fights for every loose ball and wins battles most guys don't even try for. His defense is nonstop, contesting, switching, pressuring, and never letting up. He grabs a board, pushes the pace, and turns defense into offense without hesitation. And he does it for long stretches too. In the 2024 playoffs, he averaged over 46 minutes per game in the first round. That's unreal. He's everywhere, diving, passing, rebounding, scoring, triple doubles, career high assists. It all comes from the same engine. Offensive rebounding. Moses Malone was making missed shots feel like passes. He didn't just crash the glass, he owned it. Nobody grabbed more offensive boards than him, ever. Over 19 seasons, he pulled down over 7,000 offensive rebounds. That's not close. He's ahead of second place by more than 2,000. And he wasn't just piling them up. He was dominating every night. He averaged over 5 offensive boards per game across his entire career. And in the 1978 to 79 season, he averaged more than 7. That's ridiculous. In one game against Seattle, he snagged 21 offensive rebounds by himself, more than the whole opposing team. He gave his squad second chances all game long, and forced defenses to change their entire game plan just to slow him down. He kept doing it deep into his career too. Moses didn't just rebound. He shifted the balance of games with pure effort and unmatched positioning. Paint scoring. Zion Williamson's superpower is his ability to dominate the paint. He boasts an impressive field goal percentage of 58.9%, showing how efficient he is at finishing plays inside. His strength and driving style make him a consistent threat, drawing fouls and scoring with ease. In the 2024 to 2025 season, he averaged 24.6 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 5.3 assists per game, proving he's an all-around force. At 6 feet 6 inches and weighing 284 pounds, Zion uses his size, strength, and agility to power through defenses. His explosive first step and ball handling skills let him attack the basket at will. His presence forces defenders to focus on him, creating opportunities for teammates. Though injuries have been a challenge, Zion's potential is sky high, and if healthy, he can be one of the league's top power forwards. Finishing ability. Derrick Rose has an ability to finish at the rim with incredible skill. His explosiveness, with a reported 40-inch vertical leap, let him soar over defenders to score. Rose's agility and balance helped him navigate through defenses, often finishing in acrobatic ways. He could finish with either hand, making him unpredictable and difficult to defend. In the 19 to 20 season, he averaged 4.7 field goals made on drives per game, ranking among the best. After his injuries, Rose adapted, using floaters and runners, leading the league with a 53% field goal percentage on those attempts. His work on his three-point shooting also paid off, shooting over 40% with the New York Knicks. From winning Rookie of the Year to earning the MVP in 2010 to 2011, Rose's finishing ability has made a lasting impact on the NBA. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.